Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Hope you're all well.
And ready to chant.
And today, Thakurji Darshan, they said they changed their shringa.
Nobody's with us yet.
Not yet?
Okay. I'm not.
So we're going to begin with page 1, Mangala Charana. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Who's there?
Radhe Radhe, Alvi Yogi, Lalita Priya Didi, Madhu Molima.
Radhe Radhe.
Welcome.
I
Hare
feel like I
Krishna,
can hear them.
Ravisha Singh, Subhadra.
Yes, Sudevi.
Hi, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe, Jiva Pavana Prabhu.
Radhe Radhe, Dandava Prabhu.
Dandava Pranam. So we're beginning with Mangala Charana. Page 1 in the small songbook. Mangala Charana. M-A-N-G-A-L-A. Mangala Charana.
And it starts with Vandeham. Jai Gurudev. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalam, Shri Guru, Vaisnava, Shri Rupa, Sagrajata, Sahavana, Raghunathanditam, Tam Sajivam, Sametam, Savadhutam, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha, Krishna Padam, Sahavana Lalita, Shri Vishakhanditamshcha, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurunmilitam yena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya, Radhikaya Priyatmane, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta, Narayanitti Namine, Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham, Maudaya Madhurya Gunaishtrayuktam, Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam, Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami, Chaitanyam Bhakta Shiromanincha, Shri Krishna Pada Trivitaikaritti, Chaitanya Leela Sarasar, Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye, Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Presthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta, विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशवाय नामिने धीमत्यक्षरित्राय स्वश्रितानञ्चपालिने जीवन्मुखे सदर्काय श्रीनामप्रेमदायिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी गणिकाय कृपाभये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दैने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाढ्या श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये विनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्धाय सिद्धन्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षान्नैराज्ञमूर्तये विप्रारम्भरसम्बोधे तदम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो पङ्को मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोज राधामदनमोहन दिव्यं बृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमान् श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीरघुवृन्ददेव वेष्ठाभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भे वंशिवतटतस्थितः कर्षण्येन्दुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीयस्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतन्त्र तत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादामग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसंकीर्तनं हरे नाम हरे नामेव केवलं करुणस्येव नस्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Which version?
Jai Jai Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru. Page 29 starts with Jaya, J-A-Y-A. Jai Jai Shri Guru.
Is that in the app? Maybe Gmail. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Jaya Jaya Shri Guru Prema Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
Sakala. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai, page 46 in the small book.
Sorry, I didn't do the high part on that one. I wouldn't have been able to sing it.
Me either.
Sakala Vaishnava Goshai, page 46.
Does everyone on the Kirtan app have it?
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. You still on?
Yeah. What is the...
Page 96. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, starting with Shri, S-R-I.
Are there any questions?
In the app, I don't know if you have those last
Last
little
two.
extra ones. I'm not sure. The Daya Karo Prabhupada for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada.
And
You can
Gurudeva.
also apply that to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada or any other personality that we know as Prabhupada, like Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada, Gopal Bhatta Goswami Prabhupada, all of those persons, and Daya Karo Gurudev, Patit Pavan. So we will also sing those at the end. Let's turn it down a little. One to the left. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Sorry. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kabe Habe?
Hobe hobe. Kabe habe bolo, say Vinaya Mar. Page. Anyone? Kabe habe bolo, page 88 in the small book. Kabehabe bolo. Kabe habe bolo.
What page again?
88.
88.
Nandu.
Nandu. Ramananda, Radhe Radhe.
My throat is fine. What? My throat is fine.
When you hear any of us clear our throats, it's just because of dust and fans. We're okay. Bhave bhave bolo Sedimoya amar Bhave bhave bolo Sedimoya amar Bhave bhave bolo Sedimoya today to only what? Lead Vrajajana Manasikari? Because it has Radhe and Shyam and Shyama and Shyam.
I don't know if I can.
Really?
Yeah. I can try, but if it... You might need to take over. Okay?
Okay.
Braja Janamana Sukhakari Radhe Sham 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 starts with Braja B R-A-J-A Jana.
Rajabi.
Page 366 in the small book.
Raja. Shyam, Shyama, Shyam. Hold on.
Shri Radhe Braja Jana Mana Maha Mantra time, guys. Sing loudly. Turn your speakers up. As loud as
Turn
possible.
your speakers up, turn your voices up. Let's do this. Loud global kirtan. That's what the world needs right now.
Our Gurudev said that even if you're sitting in one spot and you're chanting the holy name, that sound doesn't just stay in one place, that sound vibration continues and it goes throughout the entire world. He explains in one darshan that he gave one lecture. He says that not only does it go throughout the whole entire world, touching everyone with that vibration, but it actually leaves this world, goes out into the universe, and if we do it with love and affection, under the guidance of Mahat Sangha, of our Guru Varg, then it will finally reach the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So how powerful is it for even one person to sit down and to call out the holy names?
Or stand up if you like.
Sorry, to stand up.
Or dance. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyanam Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Manchakalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times unto the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same into the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. To all of our Rupana Guru Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of those who are watching on Facebook Live, my Dandavat Pranam.
Live or later.
Oh, live or later. And some people don't realize that you can go back at any time, but it's nice to be with you live at the same time.
Especially, I just want to say thank you to Jiva Pavana Prabhu for being our on live songbook. Thank you so much.
An interesting question came up today, and I would only like to speak about it for only a few minutes, because actually it's very related to the subject of our beautiful book, Going Beyond Vaikuntha. And the question was, it appears that as devotees, we have this necessity to pretend or fake what we're doing. And it is true to a certain extent. Because in the beginning, we are still bound. We don't have taste. We don't have real attraction. We have not realized our relationship, our sambandha. What we know is our experience of this material world since time without beginning. And so we know birth, disease, old age, death, suffering, duality, flickering happiness, disappointment, or Srila Govinda Maharaj would say, disappointment! We know disappointment, we know samsara, but we have not realized our relationship with Krishna. We have not realized who we really are. We have not realized our transcendental Gurudev. We have not realized who Harinam Prabhu is. We have not realized the deity of our mantra. And so we're doing all the external activities of bhakti, like waking up early in the morning, putting on tilak, sitting there chanting Harinam, worshipping Thakurji, reading Shastra, dancing in kirtan, doing parikrama, all of the activities of bhakti, taking prasad. So many things that we're doing. Sewing for Thakurji, cooking for Thakurji. Everything that we're doing. And yet we may not have real ruchi, taste, because we have not realized our sambandha, our relationship. And so there is an element of seeing that, wait, maybe it's not really real. You're sitting there chanting, but you're not actually connected. You're dancing in front of the deities, but it's not spontaneous. You're doing it because you're supposed to. All of the things that you're supposed to do, it's not raga, or it's not ragatmika bhakti yet. It's not spontaneous, natural attraction. So how do we reconcile this? Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, all of our Guru Varga in the line of Rupa Goswami have taken from Srila Rupa Goswami the beautiful 7th verse of Sri Upadeshamrita, Syat Krishna Nama Charita Disitapya Vidya Ito Patapta Rasanasya Nadochikan Kinfadaradaminam Kalushaiva Jushta Sadvikraman Bhavati Taggadamulahantri. I remember when we were in Australia many years ago with Gurudev, and I was sitting right next to him. But that time I was quite fresh, quite new, but coming from Gurukul and having learned some Sanskrit pronunciation and the capacity to learn shlokas. As Gurudev was doing the shlok, I was sitting next to him and I was chanting it very loudly in the best Sanskrit pronunciation I could muster. And Srila Gurudev looked at me and he said, "Oh, you know this verse? Stand up and speak." And I thought, oh my God, this is my embarrassing moment. I knew the Sanskrit, but I didn't really know the meaning. I kind of had a very loose-knit 5-word understanding of the meaning. And I thought, this is my moment to get publicly humiliated and humbled. Gurudev said, "Stand up and speak." So I stood up and I was like, and I said like 2 or 3 words. And devotees were like yelling from the crowd, "Say this, say that." And I'm like, "I already said that, I said that." And I couldn't say anything really. I just ended up freezing. And Gurudev said, "Only knowing the shlok will not do. Sit down." I was like, ooh. So only knowing the shlok will not do, we must also practice and follow. But anyhow, this verse, Syat Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya, this is referring to Harinam. In the beginning, we understand from Krishna and Bhagavad Gita that happiness in the mode of goodness is like poison in the beginning and nectar in the end. Why? Because there's some sacrifice that's necessary before the nectar manifests. Happiness in the mode of passion is like nectar in the beginning and poison in the end. Why? Because it's seeking after gratifying my senses, enjoyment. But what is the result of so much enjoyment? Naturally, suffering. It's the karmic balance of this material world. And happiness in the mode of ignorance is poison in the beginning, like alcohol, and poison in the end, like liver cancer. Both are poison. So, poison in the beginning, poison in the end. But happiness in bhakti is like nectar in the beginning, nectar in the middle, and nectar in the end. Still, in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, he's saying, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi. So, Krishna's name, Nama, Charita, his glories, his qualities, Adi, names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. Sitapya Vidya. Because of ignorance, what do we experience? Although it is the sweetest of the sweetest thing, Madhura Madhuram Etan Mangalam Mangalanam. Everything is sweet about Krishna, as that beautiful bhajan says. Adharam Madhuram Madanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram Gamanam Madhuram Madhuradhipater Akhilam Madhuram. Even his killing of demons is sweet. How sweet is Krishna? Everything is sweet about Krishna. But unfortunately, my tongue is made of disease. So when the sweetness of Krishna comes to me, because I'm in a jaundiced condition. Does anyone know what jaundice is? I've had it twice. Once when I was in Vrindavan Gurukul, and once probably in the year 2002. And it's a liver disease which makes your whole body, the color, well, your eyeballs, the whites of your eyes look like the color of this bottle cap. There you go. And your whole body turns yellow. It's a liver disease. So I had this disease. And Sudevi and Vishaka at the time didn't know that I had the disease because the walls of our room were painted yellow. And so everything in the room was yellow.
And it was winter.
And it was winter, so we were all hauled up inside the room. We didn't know, but I was feeling pretty sick. I was exhausted and I couldn't do anything. And they brought home some biscuits, some very nice sweet biscuits, and they gave them to me. Here, this might make you feel better. And I took them and I'm like, oh, you guys, you shouldn't eat this. It tastes really bad. It's like bitter. And they tasted it and they're like, no, it's fine. And I was like, it's bitter. Don't eat it. I don't know what it is. I didn't have any idea that I was sick. I just felt exhausted. And they couldn't see it because of the yellowness of the room. And then one day, Baijanti Mala came into the room, she knocked on the door, and I mustered up the strength to get up and open the door. And when I came to the door, the light from outside shone on me. And she said, oh my God. She told them to come out and look at me from outside.
She's just like, get dressed, we're going to
She's
the
like,
doctor.
get dressed, we're going to the doctor. Needless to say, it took me about 6 months on a very intense diet and a lot of rest to recover from this disease, jaundice, otherwise known as pilia in India. So pito patapta, it means the function of having jaundice. Because we are jaundiced in this material world, all we've ever known is self-serving tendency. We don't have the sanskar and sukriti to serve Krishna. We're only trying to serve ourselves. So this is a jaundiced state. This is a virus which plagues every living entity in the entire material creation that is not a pure devotee, that has not realized their pure nature and relationship with Krishna. It is a condition, very diseased condition. So for that person, even though Harinam is like sugar candy, why is it compared to sugar candy? It is the most refined form of sugar. When you take it, you dissolve it, it is crystalline sugar. It is the most fine. And yet, for someone who is jaundiced, it has an effect of creating the taste of bitterness. But it's not because that is bitter, it's because of my disease it appears bitter. Yet Srila Rupa Goswami explains that this same process, Harinam, or the same process, sugar candy, rock sugar candy is said to be like the cure or the medicine for the disease of jaundice. In the same way that Harinam is the cure for our material disease. I don't have taste for it yet. I might not even like it or want it, and yet I need it as medicine. And gradually, as I'm taking that medicine, my jaundiced condition begins to become less. Because of the medicine, our Srila Gurudev, he asked, do you think that first you need to be cured, or first you need to take the medicine? He said, of course you need to take the medicine first. And as you continue taking, gradually that medicine will cure you, and then you will be able to taste the sweetness. You will realize what it is. So it's not that the moment somebody starts chanting or the moment they start doing any positive activity in bhakti, suddenly they're a pure devotee. We know that's not true. Well, at least in my case, I know that's not true. You can all check your own pulses, as Srila Gurudev would say, and see, have you attained Krishna Bhakti Ras? Do you have real ruchi for Harinam and for Krishna Bhakti, or do we still have attraction and desire for things in this material world? If we do still have attraction and desire for things in this material world, we should know that we are still jaundiced, in which case the cure is Harinam, taking shelter of Harinam under the guidance of pure devotees. So, coming back to my original point, it seems like it is false, but it's not false if we have faith that the medicine will work to cure our disease. Just because I'm still diseased doesn't mean that Harinam is not the cure. It might take some time for that cure to work. In the meantime, we are accepting all of those processes into our lives, which will turn our self-serving, selfish tendency into the tendency to serve Krishna, his desires, and his transcendental senses. We accept all of these processes of bhakti because Sri Guru has instructed us to do so. Srila Govinda Maharaj questioned, why do we do sadhana? Because we understand by our own strength we cannot attain Krishna. We cannot attain perfection by our own power or own strength. We cannot just catch Krishna like that. So why do we do sadhana? He said, because Guru tells you to do it. And when he sees that you're sincere and you are following the prescription that he's giving, then he will give you installments. What are those installments? Increase of bhakti sukriti. He will increase your enthusiasm, your eagerness to want to serve Krishna. When he sees that you are sincere and you are faithfully taking that medicine that he's giving. So why do we do all of these activities? Some of it seems a little strange. Maybe even false. Why are we doing that? You don't really have taste in Krishna now. You still have taste for your own sense enjoyment, so why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Some would argue that we should not then chant because it's not real. In that case, we shouldn't take prasadam either because it's not real. Good luck. We need to honor prasadam. We need to take harinam. We need to take shelter of the process of bhakti as Sri Guru has prescribed, which acts as the oshadhi, or the medicine for our diseased condition. What is our diseased condition? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha doshanu darshanam. Birth, disease, old age, and death, and suffering at every step. Danger at every step. This is the real disease. And the cure for that disease, the cure for every disease, the cure for the disease of this body, which is actually like a cancerous growth on top of the pure soul, the cure for the subtle body, which is a subtle, massive cancerous growth, the cure for all of it is Bhakti Yoga. Kapila Dev says in Srimad Bhagavatam that by taking shelter of the process of Bhakti Yoga, all of the material things, especially the subtle body, is dissolved. And the gross body is dependent upon the subtle body. So if there's no subtle body, there cannot be gross. It is dissolved by the process of Bhakti Yoga. That means no more material intelligence, no more material mind, no more material false ego. What remains? The transcendental intelligence of the soul, the transcendental mind of the soul, the transcendental ego of the soul. What is that? Sat Chit Ananda, eternality, full of transcendental bliss, full of knowledge, loving relationship, love and affection with Krishna. That's what remains by the process of Bhakti Yoga. And the most powerful process of Bhakti Yoga, especially now, is Kirtan, glorifications of the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. Therefore, Shastra has stated, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Gatir Anyata. Nasti Eva means there is no other way. 3 times it is said, there's no other way, no other way, no other way. In case you didn't understand it the first time, they repeated it 3 times, because thrice is a charm. And what is that? Harer Nam. That means the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. This is the process to attain perfection, especially under the guidance and in the association of Krishna's devotees, where Krishna himself fully manifests. In that, perfection can be attained. And very soon, the diseased condition will disappear. And what will replace that? Krishna will manifest in our heart. Krishna will manifest here, in our heart. Then there is no more disease condition. So this is something that we are going on in the beginning with faith. And by following, by practicing, by being under the guidance of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, gradually it will turn to Paramarthik Shraddha. And from there, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. This will manifest. But we must follow this process on faith. We shouldn't think that because I am not pure, that I shouldn't do any of the aspects of bhakti. Like, oh my God, I can't chant 16 rounds, so I won't chant anything at all. then we will be the loser. We should make some endeavor, and if we make that endeavor to follow the instruction of Guru, maybe we're not real at the moment. But Srila Gurudev has explained. He said, and Shastra says also, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Putana approached Krishna dressed as a mother, even though she was a demoness. And Krishna's nature was so kind. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindho. He's an ocean of mercy. Even though she came with intent to kill him, but because she approached him in the guise of a mother, he gave her the eternal position as a nursemaid in Goloka Vrindavan. Another shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam states, Krishna, if you gave this position to Putana, then how can you ever repay your Brajabasis for their love and affection? You're indebted to them because they're approaching you only with love. So even the clothes that we wear, if we're wearing the clothes thinking, my Gurudev is pleased when he sees me like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it makes me affiliate. I'm wearing tilak. People will look at me in the street and say, what is that? Makes you stand straight and represent. Yes, I'm representing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my Gurudev, my Guru Parampara, and Krishna. So it always keeps us focused and thinking about Krishna. Otherwise, it's very easy to hide. Did you want to add something, Sudevi? Come.
Dandavat Pranam, everyone. Hare Krishna. As Kishori Mohan Prabhu was speaking about why we do this, we do it because it pleases our Gurudev and because he told us to do it. It reminded me of one beautiful thing that happened with Srila Gurudev. Many years ago, we were on parikrama with our Gurudev, and he took us to one place called Terkadamba. And in Terkadamba, there's this beautiful leela about how Srila Rupa Goswami used to sit there and do his bhajan. He used to do his writing there. And when we would go there, Srila Gurudev would have us sing Yang Kali Rupa Sharir. Without, who would have known, without Rupa Goswami, how would we have known anything? How would we have known the love of Radha Madhav? So this beautiful mood was being engendered there. And then Gurudev began to speak. And he said that one day, as Srila Rupa Goswami was in ecstasy, chanting the holy names, Sanatan Goswami, his elder brother, came there, like his guru, he felt. Immediately, he offered him a seat, and within his heart, he began to think, I wish I had some kheer, some really nice, sweet rice to offer to him. But they began to discuss the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna and forgot everything. After some time, one young, very beautiful gopi girl came there. She came with a pot and with all the ingredients to make sweet rice. And she said, oh, Baba, here I brought you some ingredients. You should make some kheer. And then she left that place. But Sri Rupa and Sanatan were so involved and were so immersed in Harikatha, in remembering Radha and Krishna, they forgot everything. After some time, that young village girl, she came back and she saw, oh look, they've done nothing. They're just sitting there speaking the sweet pastimes of Krishna. So she herself sat down and built a fire and began to make sweet rice. When she was done, she put it in front of them. Oh, Baba, you should take this beautiful sweet rice, this kheer. I made it for you. And then she left. They were again so immersed in the sweet pastimes of Krishna, they didn't realize. After some time, they looked down and they saw, oh look, someone brought some sweet rice for us. Someone came and cooked. Immediately they took that, and with their heart they offered it, and they began to take it. The moment they tasted that sweet rice, they knew, this is not ordinary. This is not anything of this world. This is transcendental. This is real prasad, mercy. They began crying and weeping, their hair standing on end. Crying and crying. A mood entered the heart of Sanatan Goswami. He said, hey Rupa, did you desire anything? Was there any mood in your heart that you wanted something? Sri Rupa, crying in ecstasy, said, well, yes, actually, at one moment when we were sitting together, I was thinking, I wish I could offer you some kheer. He began to lament, and Sanatan said, oh, don't you know what you've done? That was our Swamini. That was Srimati Radhika. She came herself and she cooked for us. You have done wrong because you have desired this thing. Oh Rupa, do you want that we should serve her or that she should come and serve us? Think very carefully. What do you want? That we should serve our Swamini. And then they began to weep and take that beautiful Mahaprasad. So when we were sitting there and I was listening to that, it was a long bus ride back to our Dharmashala where we were staying with Gurudev. And I was sitting there and I was really thinking about this mood of how our Swamini, how our Sri Guru, our Gurudev is serving us. He's giving us Harinam. And he's saying, if you chant it, then this is service to me. And then we're traveling all over the world. And everyone is opening their doors because we're coming on the name of our Gurudev. Otherwise, if we went to anyone's door, they'd be like, who are you? What do you want? Why are you coming here now? But they know, oh, you're the messenger of my Gurudev. You're the messenger of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And they open their doors for us. They feed us. They give us a chance for seva. And everything is being done by Gurudev. So I was sitting there and I was thinking, Gurudev is serving us. And there is absolutely nothing I can do to repay him. I can't do anything. And so I went around 9 o'clock in the evening and I sat outside of his door. And nobody gets a 9 o'clock evening darshan with Gurudev if you're not a sannyasi or a brahmachari, I don't think. So I was sitting outside Srila Gurudev's door and I was just crying. How can I serve you? How? It's impossible. You are serving me, but I can't do anything. And at that point, all of a sudden the door opened and it was Madhav Priya Prabhu. And he just looked at me and I looked up at him and I was just crying. And then he shut the door. And so I started to cry more. I was like, oh. A minute later he opened the door. He said, Didi, come quickly. So I ran inside the room and Madhav Priya Prabhu left. And Dvija Krishna Prabhu was doing some seva off to the side. And as I walked in, I saw Srila Gurudev sitting there. And he was holding his japamala to his heart. And he was just chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And after some time, I was just looking at him crying. He opened his eyes and looked down at me and went like this. What? And so then I told him the whole Leela about Ter Kadamba. And he was like, yes. And then I said, but Gurudev, I've realized that I'm in such a state of indebtedness to you that there's no way I can repay you. Everything is being done by you. Even everywhere we're going, all of the Harikatha, the Prasadam, everything, you are giving everything to us. And there's nothing we can do for you. I'm indebted and I can't repay you. And he said, oh, you should see that right now, he said, you should think that you are like a tiny newborn baby, so small. quite naked. He said, is there any harm in the father serving his own baby, his own daughter, in that condition? And I said, no. And he said, so I am making you so qualified so that one day you will be able to serve me. And I said, do you promise? And he said, yes. And then he just closed his eyes and started chanting again, and I ran from the room. But I realized that that is our way of repaying our debt, is becoming qualified, becoming loyal, chanting. He once said, be merciful to me and become happy, and chant the holy names. I wanted to share that because sometimes we think, I'm all alone and I'm in quarantine or lockdown. I may not have so many around me. I have no association. I can't go to the temple. Can't even go for a walk without getting arrested. What can I do? I can serve. I can serve my Gurudev's heart by following his order, by becoming qualified to one day be engaged in the service of his own beloveds. This is why we do sadhana. This is why we follow the order of Gurudev. This is why we are loyal to that. It's not just a waste of time to sit down and to chant a certain number of rounds and increase from there, to read, to sing these bhajans of our acharyas which are filled with their love for Radha and Krishna. The whole point of all of it is for us to become qualified, to grow up, to become strong. It is feeding our Atma. As he was saying, all of this physical thing will begin to dissolve away like radiation, spiritual radiation. Slowly and slowly, all of this will burn off. And what will happen? Spontaneously, I will have nothing else but taste in the holy name of Krishna, taste in hearing Harikatha, taste in trying to serve and calling out the names of the Vaisnavas. And quarantine itself will be some kind of a penance where I can sit down and loudly call for help. Hey Gurudev, hey Krishna, I'm alone, I need your mercy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This time is for that, crying. Gurudev once said, I asked him, how can I serve you? I only know how to clean the temple. I only know how to do the external things, but how can I serve you? He said, you should go into a private place. And then he said, like a closet. Go into a closet where no eyes can see you. Just your Harinam Mala, Harinam Prabhu and your Gurudev. And in that place you should chant, weeping, Hare Krishna, Ha Gurudev, weeping for Gurudev. He said, this is service to me, and this is more than chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam. Because it is with Sambandha, it is with relation to Sri Guru. And he will hear that prayer, that calling, and he will petition Krishna's mercy on our behalf. So doing sadhana is not a waste of time. If it tastes like sand, if it tastes bitter, at that time we can call out, oh Gurudev, help me. Hey Krishna, what does even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say in Chaito Darpana Marjanam? He even says, oh, you have so many beautiful names like Krishna and Govinda, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction to them. And then the next thing he says, but the cure for that, Tranadapi Sunichena, first and foremost, I am nothing. I know nothing. I give all honor, all glories to you, Gurudev, to you, Vaishnavas, who are giving me life. Be loyal to that. That is the news. That's the good news. There used to be this one old book in the 60s, and it was like, you know, about coming to transcendental vibrations. He's like, what is the news? What is that good news? The good news is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared here only 500 and some odd years ago. And he filled this world with Nam, but not just Nam. Nam filled with praying for Radha and Krishna. And he is sending his ambassadors again and again and again to us. That is news. That is newsworthy. What our Guru Varga is giving us, that is worth talking about. That is worth discussing. That is even worth having transcendental arguments about. Not all of these kinds of theories of this and that and the world and what's going on and what might be. That's going to be gone tomorrow. And then there's going to be another thing to talk about and think about and worry about. The only continuous good news that there is that our Guru Varga have given us the names of Krishna. They have given us Srimad Bhagavatam. They have given us Chaitanya Charitamrita. They have given us Jaivadarva, Bhajan Rahasya. They have given us an unlimited supply of good news and hope. And that is what this time essentially should be used for. Yes, we should take care of these bodies. They are the root of bhajan. They are the root of our seva. They are the root of our way out of this material world. So these bodies are so important, but only if they are being utilized for what they are meant for, to get out of this material entanglement. And we begin by following the order of our Guru, even if it tastes bitter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Sudevi. It's amazing, I was thinking to bring up Chaito Darpanamarjanam, and she brought it up. Mahaprabhu is telling the same thing, Chaito Darpanamarjanam. Right now, I am covered. Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj brought it a little bit more clearly to the forefront of our imagination. He said some persons, they have just a little dust. To clear a little dust off the mirror of the heart, just takes a feather duster. Very easily you can blow it off. But others, they have caked on mud. For them, you need a lot of water, maybe a scraper, scrubber, and gradually you can get it cleaned. Others, it's like wood, you need to chisel. Others, their hearts are covered with stone or steel. How do you cut through that? He said, dynamite. We require dynamite. But in every single case, whether it's dusting, whether it's cleaning with a hose and a scrubber, whether it's chiseling, or whether it's dynamite, it's the same process. Harinam Sankirtan Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Same process. We're all covered to different extents. But just because we're a little covered or more covered, it doesn't mean that we should not take shelter of Harinam. Gradually, by the process of Harinam, what will be revealed? Our true self will be revealed. Krishna will be revealed, and the nature of our love and affection, which is eternal and inherent, will also be revealed through or by the mercy of Harinam Prabhu. In the same way, this book is about a progression, the progression of Gop Kumar. He was just telling yesterday that he received a mantra. He received the mantra, but just before his guru was about to give him an explanation of the mantra, what happened? His guru went into deep trance. He said the name of Shyama Sundar and he began weeping and crying, experiencing all Ashtasattvic bhavs. This Gopkumar ran to the Jamuna to collect some water and came back, and he could not find his guru anywhere. He searched everywhere and could not find him. And then he became very sad. He never heard the explanation. So he was in a state where he had not yet attained perfection. He had just received his mantra. So what was he supposed to do? Should he have stopped his mantra? No. That mantra, within that mantra that Guru gave, that was the form of the Lord. And because he continued chanting this mantra with faith and the kirtan, Shri Krishna Gopala Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nanda Kishori Krishna Ashri Jashoda Tanaya Prasida Shri Vallavi Jivana Radhikesha. Because he was doing Nam Kirtan and also chanting his mantra with faith, with honor and with regard. This brought him eventually, gradually, to perfection. So it may not have been real for him in the beginning, but gradually everything that was unreal, means all of the material thing, which is actually nothing to do with the soul, asango yang purushaha, Prabhupada speaks about this a lot, it really has nothing to do with this Atma. All of that falsity was cleared out as the transcendental son of Krishna. Son meaning S-O-N. Sorry, S-U-N. The sun. Krishna Surya Samamaya Andakar. When the sun manifests, automatically the darkness dissipates. So as the power of the mantra was reacting, taking its effect within his heart, gradually, the sun doesn't just poof, rise immediately. First you see it on the horizon. This is Nishanta Bhajan. You see it on the horizon. Before that even, it's just like a little bit of light is coming. But that light, which is coming at the end, is a cause for endless hope. It should be a cause for inspiration. That means for sure and for certain, very soon the sun will rise. The fact that Sri Guru has manifested in our life, the fact that we have been given the opportunity of coming to Vrindavan Dham, Navadvip Dham, placing our heads in the dust of all of these places, the fact that Sri Guru has planted Hari Nam Prabhu in our hearts and given us Hari Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam, all favorable things for bhakti, that we've come in the line of Rupa Goswami, in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who manifested so recently. We should understand, without a doubt, that that sun is rising.
Jai.
We should understand that it is rising. Maybe we haven't realized it yet. It might already be risen. We just have to take the cover off of our eyes. We should try to accept what our Gurudev, what our sadhus, what our shastras are giving us. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, when he's speaking about Guru Nishta, he's talking about that I will not accept any concept from anyone in this world other than the conceptions given by my Gurudev, who is sent by Krishna. I will punch every other current of consciousness out. I will throw them out with a punch of my fist. Every other current of consciousness. Why? Because I know that by a single particle of the dust, the feet of my Gurudev, millions of people of this world can be delivered. Can you say that to the best of your memory?
The whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
He said that I will be faithful to the words of my Gurudev because I know that my Gurudev is carrying the word of the Supreme Lord, and I will be truthful to the words of my Lord in every way. I will not listen to anything anyone says other than the words of my Gurudev. If I have to become proud, if I have to become a beast, if I have to go to hell to carry out the order of my Guru who is sent by Krishna, then I want to sign a contract to go to hell for all eternity. There is no good concept within the 14 worlds that is heavier than a particle of dust from the pollen of the lotus feet of my Gurudev. I will throw out all other currents of consciousness with a punch of my fist, because I know that even just one particle of that dust pollen of the lotus feet of my Gurudev will deliver millions upon millions of jivas of this world.
This is Guru Nishtha. So holding on tightly to the lotus feet of Sri Guru, holding on tightly to the lotus feet of those Vaishnavas who increase our faith in our Gurudev, holding on tightly to the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to the instructions of Krishna as given in Bhagavad Gita, to Srimad Bhagavatam, which Mahaprabhu says is the spotless, transcendental and purest evidence. Taking shelter of the processes which they have given us and having faith in those processes, which is really the greatest welfare work for all of humanity. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, to rescue even one jiva from the fortress of Maya is infinitely more benevolent than the creation of unlimited free hospitals for helping the poor and helping the sick and doing all this. To rescue even one jiva from the fortress of Maya is infinitely more benevolent. Why? Because building hospitals, people will go into the hospitals and come back out, but it won't stop their birth, disease, old age, and death. It will not stop their samsara. It just temporarily puts a band-aid on their samsara, but they continue rotating and experiencing this. But it doesn't save them. It does not save them. What saves anyone? Krishna says only surrendering to Him. How? Chanting His names. Chanting His names, remembering His forms, His qualities, His pastimes.
And how can we help others suffering now?
How can we help others who are suffering?
In every form.
How can we help others? There's no other way to help others, really. Really. We don't remove their suffering by telling them about material, temporary truths and falsities. This does not remove their suffering. This still keeps them bound in samsara. If we tell so many things but don't tell them about Krishna, if we do not give them the solution to their problems, then what is the benefit of that information? What is the benefit of that knowledge? It is simply cheating. It is cheating. You need to know about these things. Okay, I know about them, so what do you want me to do about them? Do you want me to march up and down the street and chant, "Don't do these things"? Or should I continue marching up and down the street, holding banners with the holy name, chanting Harinam, doing Kirtan? What should I do? Should I be screaming and crying about all kinds of material things, or should I be screaming and crying to Krishna for mercy? Should I be engaging others in remembering Krishna and hearing about Krishna and His names, forms, qualities, and pastimes? Or should I be engaging others in thinking about everything which has nothing to do with Krishna? We can test ourselves. I can guarantee you, I have complete conviction, and I'm saying complete conviction, that if someone is just getting their information from Google, Google Dave, they don't know for a fact if that information is true or not. They do not know. They're choosing which information to accept and which information to reject.
They say if it's on Facebook, it's true.
Yes. I've heard that Albert Einstein said that we shouldn't depend on what information we get on Facebook. At least it was signed by him. No? Supposedly someone coughed into the vat of chemtrail stuff and it contaminated hundreds of millions of gallons of chemtrail solution because someone coughed COVID into it. And people are posting this.
No,
devotees are posting this. Hare Krishna. As truth. All of it is a lie. All of it is false. All of it is pretense. It is not real. It is not true. There's only one truth. Advaigyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. This is the truth. And if we want, hold on. I did a little research. It was shown to be just one of those false websites which make jokes, you know. They just tell funny stories and kind of mess with people. Anyhow, some people believe it. I just needed to clarify that. It's not true. But anyhow, I wanted to tell what is the truth. Srila Gurudeva Maharaja explains. In this verse, Krishna says, Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. What is tattva? Who is a seer of the truth? What is truth? Mahaprabhu says to Sanatan Goswami, Krishner Swarup Vichar Shuna Sanatan Advaigyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. The supreme, non-dual, absolute truth is none other than Krishna of Vrindavan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. This is the supreme, absolute truth. That is truth. And everything related to Krishna and serving Krishna, that is truth. And the only thing that can actually purify the environment is not by meditating on all kinds of nonsense things, whether they appear materially true or not. What can we do about it? As a single person, or even as a group of 10? And some people are suggesting crazy things like, we have to fight and we have to go to war. And like, okay, good luck. You and your 5 friends against the entire military. Good luck. Hare Krishna. At that time, you will realize that there's only one friend. Eheno samaya bandhu tumi Krishna kripa sindhu. This material world is like an insurmountable ocean full of all kinds of very, very dangerous creatures, crocodiles and sharks and everything, which are coming to attack us at every moment. At this time, I see that I have no other friend. You can hear Prabhupada when he's singing this bhajan, Anadi Karamapale, Tori Bhavarna Vajale, Tori Bare Na Dekhi Upai. At this time, I see around there is no one to help me. And then he says, Eheno Samaya Bandhu, O Krishna, you are my only friend at this time. At that time when you're being put into such a situation where you have nowhere else to turn and you're in a state of desperation, you will realize that all of that time was wasted. I could have just been taking shelter of Krishna. Instead of wasting my time, my energy, and others person's time and energy to think about everything else other than the essential thing. What happened to Parikshit Maharaj? He was told, you have 7 days left to live, and then you will be killed. What did he do? No, he didn't. He didn't delve in conspiracy or anything. What did he do? Oh, I have 7 days left to live. I better stop doing all of my material activities immediately. He hung up his kingly clothes. He gave everything up. He entered the forest with only kopins. He went to the sages and asked them, please tell me, what is the best thing that someone should do if they know they're going to die? For the benefit of everyone, he asked this question. And then, from that beautiful question, manifested Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the answer to the immediate question which is always pending. This material world is a place where padam padam yadvi padam natesham sita at papat barishna edina jamani jagire bipale seven kripana durjana chappala sukalavalagire. Sorry, what was that one? Oh. Ed hana jovana putra parijan ite kiyache paratitire kamal dala jala jivana talmal bajhu hari paraditire. This life is so fragile. One day or another, guaranteed every one of us is going to be in a situation. Bhaktivedanta Thakur in so many bhajans, he's like, oh my God, what did I do with my life? I wasted my time. Now that I'm in this old age and I have no ability, I have no more strength, no more energy, I cannot enjoy anymore in this world. Now I have nothing else. Oh my Lord, help me. What did I do with my life? I wasted my time. And we can look at ourselves and we can look at our lives. What are we doing right now? There's an imminent threat of death for anyone who steps outside and breathes someone else's air. I don't think we've ever seen this in this life, in our history, in our life's history. But there is always an imminent threat of death. That's the thing. You step outside and you fall off a curb. You step outside and get hit by a car. Or a meteor comes flying through your window or through your roof. Or it's New Year's Day and people are shooting guns up into the air and the bullets go up and they come down. It happens. There are millions of ways that death can come. Maharaja in Srimad Bhagavatam, what was he doing? He was in the forest doing bhajan. He had attained a high state of rati. And Vaidhi Bhakti, but still rati. And yet he became attached to a deer. What happened as a result? He died meditating on his deer, and he became a deer. This example is given in Bhagavatam to show us that we shouldn't think it is so easy or so cheap. We tend to think, oh, I'm a devotee, I've got it made. Think about the word devotee. It's actually not devotee, it's devotee. Think about the word and what it means.
To be devoted.
Yes. We can't just brand ourselves because I have affiliation with people who believe in Krishna. And I'm saying affiliation with because do we really have faith in Krishna? Think about it. What is a devotee? What is a devotee? Someone who is devoted to Krishna. Always thinking about Krishna. Always remembering Krishna. Always chanting the names of Krishna. They cannot help themselves because they have devotion, love and devotion. They're always remembering Krishna's pastimes, his glories, and they cannot help themselves because they're obsessed. And what is the nature of if someone is obsessed? They also need to tell others. One time I heard one Vaishnava say, what is kirtan? He said, kirtan is when you are hearing and hearing and hearing, and you're filling up so much by hearing about Krishna that it cannot help itself. It fills up and then it starts to spill out. This is kirtan. Shravan kirtan. So, if we really want to benefit ourselves, if we really want to benefit others, if we really want to please Krishna, this is the important thing. It's not even about me and others. It's about pleasing Krishna. If we want to please Krishna, Krishna himself gives us the recipe. First, you serve my pure devotees. What does that mean? What they tell you to do, you follow. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. They will then give you the divine knowledge by which you will come to me. Simply. So, following the pure devotees of Krishna. What are they doing? Madchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantaschamam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. They're always remembering Krishna. They're always remembering his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, and relishing at every moment. Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. The natural effect of that is relish, happiness, pleasure. Remembering that. And they're experiencing so much that Krishna doesn't want to reside in Vaikuntha or within the hearts of the yogis. He says, where they are doing that, I want to be there. Mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami Narada. Oh Narada, I want to reside in that place. That's where I reside, where my devotees are coming together, remembering me, glorifying me, chanting my names. I am present in that place. Tumara hriday sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda kahina mama Vaisnava paran. Within the hearts of the pure devotees, Govinda is always residing very peacefully, Govinda Vishram. He says that my Vaishnavas, they are my life and soul. Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Maharaj, he said, why does Krishna reside within the hearts of the sadhus? Because everyone else is going, God, give me this, God, give me that, serve me, serve me, serve me, serve me. His ears start to become red and burn. Oh my God, everyone's just asking. Krishna saying, oh my God. Anyhow, you get the point. Oh my God. They're harassing me. I just need a place to go where I can rest, which is peaceful. Where is that peaceful, restful place? In the heart of the Akinchan Niskinchan Vaisnava. They do not need anything, nor do they want anything. Okay, they want something. They only want that Krishna is served, that Krishna is pleased, but they have no selfish desire. So that place is quiet. That place is peaceful. That place Krishna can go and rest. He can reside there. So, Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram, within the heart of a Vaishnava, Krishna is always residing. And that's why he says, they are my life and my soul. So if we want to come close to Krishna, the easiest way to do that is to come close to a pure Vaishnava who has Krishna fully saturated within his heart. Not only saturated, trapped within the prison of his heart. What is it? Bilva Mangal Thakur. He's saying, Brajeva Santam Nadanit Choram, Choranga Ganyam, Chadukula Choram, Aneka Janmarjita Papa Choram, Choranga Ganyam, Purusham Namami. I have captured you, Krishna, within the prison of my heart, and I will never let you go. But Krishna fully consents to this. He loves it. He wants it. He wants to always reside with his devotees. So if we want to come close to Krishna, we come close to the heart of any pure Vaishnava, we serve them, we please them, and their nature, because they're so merciful and compassionate, they want to reciprocate with our loving service. So we give them the best thing we have. Maybe it's just like a little squirrel flicking a stone into the water, trying to help Sri Ramachandra build that bridge. Maybe that's as much capacity as we have. But if we do our best, they will also reciprocate and give us something. The only thing is they have nothing else in their heart, nothing else in their treasury. Their treasure is Krishna. What is that bhajan? Dhan. Oh, here Vaishnava Thakur. He is the dhan, the wealth of the Vaishnavas. So, what do they have? They will give what's in their heart. If we want to progress, if we want to please Gurudev, if we want to please Mahaprabhu, if we want to please the Vaishnavas, if we want to please Krishna, which is really the only function of our soul. And if our soul is engaged in its function, then naturally everything in relation to the soul will be pleased and satisfied. Means everything. Sarvatma snapanam. Sarvatma means mind, a soul, mind, body, words, heart, everything will be fully satisfied and nourished and spiritualized if we engage that in glorifying Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything else, it's temporary. Gurudev said, in this world you will find so many problems. I remember seeing, I was there in front of him in New Braj, and then I saw the lecture years later. He was like, you try to solve one problem and 10 will come in its place. 10 will come in its place. He said, in this world you will see there are only problems, 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 and problems. Actually, there is no problem. There is only one problem. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Krishna, Krishna. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Radha Vinu Bihari ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So tomorrow we will continue. This was an important question, and it had everything to do with Gopakumar's progression, because he also was in a state of unknowing, but he did not stop just because he wasn't in a state of perfection. It was not fully real or manifest yet, but because he had faith, eventually we see that his faith, his shraddha, grew to nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhav, prem, and he attained his perfection. In the same way, we should have this kind of faith, this kind of hope. That is our real strength. That is what will drive our enthusiasm. What is it? Kshantir avyartakalatvam viraktir manashunyata ashabandha sumutkanta namagane sadaruchi. We should develop taste for the holy name. Ashabandha means an endless burning hope with some utkanta. Some utkanta means with great eagerness, enthusiasm. This is part of our progress. Kshantir avyartakalatvam means peaceful. Avyartakalatvam means giving up all unnecessary things. What is favorable for bhakti, I should accept in my life. Anukulyasya sankalpa. What is not favorable for bhakti, what does not remind me of Krishna, what does not bring my Gurudev close to my heart? Pratikulyasya varjanam. Pranam, pranam. If it's unfavorable, Gurudev would say, pranam forever. So, Jai Gurudev ki Jai. Hari